Alright, so this is going to be my G5 agent tutorial. Now, Ace is probably going to make his own at some point years down the road, whenever he's damn good and ready. But it doesn't hurt to have multiple tutorials, especially for a level this complex. So, I hope with this tutorial more people will get stuff like times like 38, sub 38. So, for this tutorial, the example video I'll be using is my third 36 that I got, because it's in better quality than the 35, and it will be a better example to follow. So, first thing, there's two different strats here with the cinema. You can wait the full cinema, as we call the Matt Cook strat, but that won't come into play until later in the run, so I'll talk about it there. First thing you need to know is you need to quick draw the Falcon. This is a pretty basic technique. You need it for times like duel 3 and stuff. Basically, when Joanna will start to draw the Falcon automatically, but when the ammo is on screen here, when you see this blue, you can pause, go into the weapon select, and select the Falcon again yourself, and you'll draw it quicker. And you need to do that to kill these guards fast. So the way I like to start is I cut the cinema right away, right strafe forward for just a tad to get in a good position for these guard kills. Quick draw, right strafe again, and turn to the right a bit, and aim about here, and you'll be able to see the blurs of these guards. So 2 shots, you'll hopefully kill this guy, and then you take a sharp right turn, and auto aim is pretty helpful for this guy. You'll just fire 2 shots around here and hopefully get him, and then you'll hear the beep. Hopefully you get the key card, but he can drop it in a troll spot and you won't pick it up. But you just YOLO your 2 shots and immediately sharp turn to the left and left strafe. And I'm hitting the door. I'm probably pressing B about here. You can hit it pretty early. And then I hit the door, and I go over and grab that ammo. It's not really necessary on Agent. It's just kind of muscle memory from Perfect Agent. You hopefully want a full clip for the second cloakroom, and if you only get 1 gun at the start, you'll only have 20 bullets, which you can do the second cloakroom with only 20 bullets, but it's going to be a lot tougher. So at this point, I was holding C up in the entire first room after the quick draw, so I'm now at full speed, and that's what you want. You don't have to hold speed in the first room, but if you do, you're at full speed by this point, and you'll be able to feel the difference as you turn this corner. You'll be able to tell if you have full speed or not. So sharp turn right here. You can hit this door from deceptively far away. I'm probably hitting B before this even. So I hit the door and go to the right, disarm, knock that guard out to get his ammo. Again, it's not really necessary on Agent, but you might as well do it because it's easy. And right here, I'm passing this pane of glass at about 8.5, 8.6. and that's the first TT that I like to use. And the start is pretty trivial, so it's not this isn't a big deal. Like 8.5 is what you want. I like to line up here. There's a pretty good visual cue. You can line up your crosshair vertically and horizontally with the markings on the wall. You don't want to be too far forward right here. You want to just be next to this wall. If you're too far forward, the guard that spawns here won't. He'll be like to your side and he'll try to run. You'll be standing in his path and you won't be able to kill him. And you want to be like right next to this wall here, aiming right here. And then you'll get a feel for when they spawn. They appear, you know, you'll just get a feel for the timing, and you want to start shooting like a frame before they appear. So right here, you hopefully shoot that guard, the far guard, over by the wall. This guard runs into your path and gets shot in the fucking head. And then I like to right strafe a bit and start turning to the left. And if you happen to not kill this guard who spawns like here, the path he takes goes right into the third guard you kill is like over here, a bit farther away. And if you miss the second guard, he runs directly into your line of fire on the third guard. So you can, if you miss him initially, you can get him right here, which is pretty convenient. And that's what happens here. I kill them both right here. And then at this point I'm like C-upping just for like a little bit. And I'm turning left more after that. And C-upping and C-left. And the fourth guard, I'll just go back to the start of this room. Whoops. So I started shooting a bit late here, so I didn't get this guy. Instead, I killed this guy, and he ate all the bullets. So I'm C up, C right, turning a bit to the left. And then I'm C-upping for just a bit to clear the dumpster. And then the fourth guard, he'll usually be like about right in front of you, right in front of this dumpster here. But if you do the first few guards really quickly and do the movement really quickly, this last guard can be like over here. And you don't want that because then he'll be harder to kill and it'll be harder to get his key card. So if everything works out, he'll be like here. Ideally, he's a bit to the right and you can just sweep your aim to the right and just barely kill him, which is what happens in my 35, and that's the optimal way. But it's not too big a deal. It's a difference of a couple tenths maybe. Because right here I probably get stuck on him for just a bit. But you'll kill him and you'll hear the beep, and then you want to strafe through here and try not to rub this glass. And notice I have one bullet left. You'll probably spend your entire mag killing those guards. And if you do that, Joanna will try to reload. So what you want to do is, like, as soon as that fourth guard is dead, you do a quick reload, which is you back switch and then forward switch, and like back to back really fast. Or you can do a forward switch, back switch, doesn't matter. So then you'll just switch and your mag will be full. And that's faster, and if you're reloading, like normally, you might not have time to kill this next guard. So right here I kind of rub the glass a bit. It's not a big deal, but ideally you don't touch the glass. You can hit this door pretty early. I'm probably hitting it about here, maybe a bit earlier. Go through the middle. You don't want to rub the door as it's opening. And then this is where the slight bit of guard randomness comes into play. This guard, he's usually right in this spot if you're on good pace. Like 90% of the time, he'll be here. But sometimes when you go through that door I just went through, he'll be like here at the bottom of the stairs. Which is just, I think it's just based on if he does an idle animation like a yawn or something. But if he's if he's excuse me, if he's like at the bottom of the stairs, you can just try and slip by him or kill him if you need to, but he usually won't be there. And when he's here, you want to, the auto aim will basically take care of the aim for you, and you just fire off a few shots at this point right as you hit the stairs, and you'll usually kill him. And then this door, I'm probably hitting B about here. It's, the timing is kind of tricky because the guard's in your way, and if you hit B too early, you're gonna reload, and then you're done pretty much. It's you know, it's a pretty big time loss, so don't do that. You hit this door, and now this is where the cinema waiting strat comes into play. This guard that you kill here, he's the only active alarm guard in this whole room, so he has to die or he'll go and pull the alarm. And on good pace, he'll be in this spot 90% of the time. So I'll cover this room regularly first. He'll be like here. You slip through the middle of the door, and you just pop him. Like, try and hit him square in the back or the head. If you hit him in the arm, he can live, and you're probably done. Like, he'll probably make it to the alarm. But what can happen is he can have a really long damage animation coupled with limping to the alarm really slowly, and you'll be able to make it before he pulls the alarm. But just try and, one body shot will kill him, so just try and kill him. Try and hit him in the body. This part's pretty YOLO, so it can't be helped that much, but so you pop him as fast as possible and instantly take a very sharp left turn, left strafe, sharp right turn, right strafe, sharp right turn again to cut this pillar here. And you want to you want to aim diagonally, like straight for this hole. And you want to be as far to the right as possible when you crouch, because if you're too far left, you're going to bump your head. Because you only do single crouches here, and if you're single crouched, you can't fit on top of this little beam. Single crouch only works if you go off to the right, so you want to... That crouch was pretty good. It's really tricky to do it perfectly to where you have a good line of movement and you don't bump your head and get stuck for a tenth. So here I'm a bit too far left probably, because you can cross this gap here, and ideally that's what you want. But you see, I was too far left, and I didn't really jump the gap there, but it's not a big deal. Just know that optimally you cut across that gap. And here you're going to do another single crouch as fast as possible and be to the right, because just like with the first crouch, if you're too far left, you can't fit, and if you're like in the middle-ish, you'll like bump your head and like lose a tenth. So that was a pretty good crouch. And then I'll cover this, and then I'll go back to the button room and talk about the Matt Cook strat. But right here, I leave the hole. You want to make sure you're far enough out. So this is another measure, like how much you want to YOLO. If you're not far enough out of the hole, your cam spy will get stuck on this wall, and that's no good, no bueno. So another minor detail is I'm not facing this hole. I'm not like my view is not perfectly perpendicular to this hole here. I'm actually like a couple degrees facing to the right. Because you see my crosshair doesn't line up with this red line, for example. This is what you want, because if you're like perpendicular to this hole, or if you're looking too far to the left or something, your cam spy will probably get stuck on this wall, and you don't want that. So pause, switch to cam spy. I also switched to door decoder quickly. You can do that on the second pause, it doesn't matter. And then I move the cam just a bit, just for like less than a second. I hold C up and C left, and then immediately switch back. Actually, I'll go back and talk about Matt Cook's strat at the end, I guess. So, the major TT here is where you pause fuck. So here, I pause at 23:05, and which is more than enough for 36. I've had 36 with like 23.5, 23.6, or even point .7 could probably get 36. But just to help you gauge, your speed, you want anything 23, 24 is like, say a 24.5 could probably get 37, and 37 beats a lot of the top players. So shoot for 24. You'll get better and better and work your way down. Stuff like 22.6 is like really good, and I only ever got that like a few times. And you'll see Ace gets like 22.66 or something on his 36. So cam spy, move it just a bit, and then immediately as soon as you unpause, you uncrouch and sharp turn to the left and C up, C left. This part is kind of tricky. You can hit this door pretty early. It's hard to do optimally. Probably hitting B like now. And there is a guard right here. You can see his foot, kind of. You don't want to be too far to the left, because then you'll like rub him and he'll see you, and then the alarm will go off. And this part kind of ruined the level before, because there's this guard that'll be in this stairway. Again, you go through the middle of that door there. Don't rub the door. And there's a guard in this stairway. And before, you would have to run up and around the stairs, and most of the time he'll see you, and it's very hard to get to the cam spy and the safe decoder before the alarm goes off that way. But when you use this stairs warp, the alarm isn't so bad if you use the stairs warp and the clem spy, which I'll get to. So here you can get close to the stairs if you want to be safe, but again, you want to be fast here, so you beat the alarm. You can see the timer's at 25.83. Shoot for 25. If you're not close enough to these stairs here, you will not warp, and there's even like a sweet spot where you're not too far but not close enough, where you'll try and warp and then you'll unpause and you'll be like in the void for a second. So this is a really good spot. You can see my cursor's like aligned with this strip on the wall. On my 35, I did this part pretty safe. I got a bit closer than you need to, so keep that in mind. So here you switch to cam spy, hold start, hold pause, so that you instantly repause and you don't lose time. Switch back, you'll be on the stairs like magic, and you'll notice one frame has passed from the previous TT. That's why we call it the one frame pause. If you just like press start instead of doing the insta pause, you're gonna lose like a tenth or even more maybe, which is pretty silly, so do the insta pause. So at this part, I unpause and I kind of see down, see left as I turn towards the door. You can hit it pretty early, just like every door. The timing's kind of tricky, but you'll get the hang of it if you practice it enough. Hit the door, try and get through the middle, don't rub the door. These guards can be assholes. They can like roll in your way and do all sorts of dumb shit. But just try and, I'm probably hitting the door about here. Just try and slip through. Now here's where the Clem Spy comes into play. We've dubbed it the Clem Spy after our boy David Clemens, who invented it. This trick is the most overpowered trick in the whole level. It's kind of hard to do, so a lot of people never bothered with it. You know, you'll probably lose a lot of runs when you're first trying it, but if you can get the hang of it, it's well worth it. So what you do is you hit the door, and rather than running in and slapping the decoder on and then moving the cam spy into the meeting room, you pause, start moving the cam spy to give it momentum, switch back, slap the decoder on, and the cam spy will go in by itself, and it saves quite a bit of time, maybe half a second or more. And on top of that, if you use the staircase warp and the Clem Spy, and you know, as long as you don't mess up, you'll beat the alarm pretty much every time, because pretty much when you do the stairs warp, the guard in the stairway will see you, and then the guards will try and raise the alarm. And before without warping the stairs, it was pretty, if they saw you like period, the alarm was going to go off. But if you use these tricks, you should beat the alarm like every time. You can also do this like with different amounts of YOLO. Say the way Clemens and Ace do it on their 36s, they pause about here and start moving the cam spy. But you know, you're not going to have much time to get in and slap the decoder on and set yourself up for a good safe entry. So what I like to do is hit the door and get into the doorway, set myself up, and then there's a little bit of weirdness here with the cam spy. You see how little I move it and how far away from the hole it is? It's pretty far away from the hole, but it gets there pretty quick. And one thing I started to notice after a while was if I moved the cam spy more during the cinema, if I move the cam spy more at the safe, at like this room, and then I slapped the decoder on, it would actually like take longer for the cam spy to get in the hole. And that doesn't really make sense, but it's just something I kind of noticed. It's kind of paradoxical, but take my word for it. So, yeah, I barely move it, and it gets there like instantly. So this part's kind of tricky, and since the cam spy is already in motion, you've only got limited time to get to do this. So you want to like left strafe and kind of sweep your aimer over this little panel and tap Z. You'll get it. You want to get a feel for the timing. With enough practice, you'll get the hang of it, and you'll get it pretty much every time. And you want to left strafe and sharp turn left, sweep your aimer across, and hopefully plant the decoder. And I've got a pretty good setup here for the ending. Wait until Trent approaches Cass here to make sure the safe is completely open. And see, I'm in a really good spot here. I can see right where I need to go. I'm not stuck on the safe door. I'm not over in the corner. A lot of people run in, slap the decoder on immediately, and they're like facing the wall off to the right, and they're in the corner, really far away from the safe entrance. And that loses time because the wall at the end doesn't blow up until you grab the safe back up. So I get the backup at about 31.5, 31.6, and the wall tends to blow up around 4.6 seconds after you grab the backup. This is where the main randomness of G5 comes in, is this door here. It'll be closed after you cut the cinema, and the guards can either open it and you'll have a straight path out, or they can open it and all be bunched up in a big wall, which is pretty shitty. But on Agent, you can kind of mow through them and you can make it in time. If the door is closed, you kind of want to just try and open it, hope you don't get door tagged, and just hope you don't get walled, mow through them. And yeah, so it doesn't hurt to do a pause here, because you're kind of capped based on you don't hit full speed by the time you reach the backup, so it loses no time to pause here. See, you're not at full speed by this point, so it doesn't hurt to do a little pause and set yourself up. And then, yeah. So, based on when I grabbed the backup, this was like 36.2-ish. So, last thing I want to talk about is the Matt Cook strat. This is the strat Matt Cook uses in his Agent 40 PR, and this is a trick Ace was using when he was going for 35 previously. If you watch my 35, you'll see that guard I just killed there, the alarm guard, he's standing right here, right in front of the door, because he did an idle animation, which was pretty lucky. You You don't need that for 35, obviously, but it's, if you get it, try and clutch the run. I clutched the run when it happened to me and I got 35. It's not necessary for 35 though. I didn't wait the cinema, I just got idle animations, but it turns out if you wait the entire first cinema, this guard will usually, instead of being here 90% of the time, he'll be right in front of the door, so you don't need to turn to kill him. It'll be just like in my 35 run. The only issue with that is waiting cinema, you'll get less runs, and he's not guaranteed to be there. Just like he's not guaranteed to be here if you cut the cinema, because they can do idle animations, they can yawn and shit, and that will mess up their positions. But the Matt Cook strat is there. If if you can be fucked waiting cinema, it's probably worth it. But you know, you can get 35 without even doing that, so it's kind of your call. I'll play the run one more time and just kind of play by play. Quick draw, pop pop, pop pop, door, door. This room is really satisfying to nail it perfectly. It's really, it's really rewarding to learn this level. It's a really good level. Pop, pop. If you miss that alarm guard there, the alarm will go off around now, like around here. 2305. Move the cam spy. Usually you'll be, if you're on pace, you might be kind of nervous, so just try and chill out. Wipe your hands off and get ready to clutch the ending. I like to see up, see left, and turn left to make sure you don't rub this safe door. Do a pause, CMP. It's pretty lenient getting to the end there. You can see I got kind of stuck on the guard, and I still made it in time. So yeah, 36 is, it's really solid still, but it's not like god tier like it used to be. And 37, even for some mid-level players, is, it's a good goal to shoot for, because it beats Cedric, beats Taka, beats Boss. So yeah, I hope this helps you all out. I hope to see some more 36s. Nesquick.